Hey all you cool cats and kittens, it's me, Joe Hammond. I'm here to talk to you about Magic 35. Some time ago, a chap called Luke came from Durham Lane, the training academy, and he discussed selling at a higher level with us all. So for those of you who haven't joined the company in the past, say, 6 months, you probably won't be aware of this. So I'm going to give you an overview of what that is, and it's going to help you towards selling at a higher level or getting the best out of your current deals. What is Magic 35, you ask? Well, I'm going to give you an overview of the Durham Lane sales mantra, which is Magic 35. 7 important question areas for the sales process, 5 possible points up for grabs, 7 by 5, 35. It's a guide to help you get better results when qualifying your sales opportunities, and it's your new toolkit to understanding your customers' needs pre, during and after sale. So, on the Magic 35 rating system, there's a 0 to 5 rating. And it goes as follows, so you won't get any points if you haven't asked any questions or been given any information about the subject. You get a point if you've got a vague idea but no clear indication from the end user. 2 if you started the conversations but you're awaiting clarity. 3 if you've got confirmation but yet you wait to gain clarity. 4 if you've got verbal discussions taking place and you've discussed all the points that needed. And 5 points for written confirmation acquired. And those are often the following. We're going to discuss budget, defining the need, the decision maker, the decision criteria, the compelling event, timescales, and finally the competition. So when we're in the office, you'll have your Magic 35 pads in front of you, and these would have the 7 categories listed out with 5 points up for grabs on each one. That's how you would work through those when you're talking to your customer, qualifying your opportunities. So when it comes to discussing the budget, you need to define the budget with the end user. You need to be comfortable talking around this subject with them. Have they considered support renewal as part of their budget? And if so, how much is being put aside? Who decides it? And does it have any flexibility? So we're going to define the need with the customer now. What is defined need? How can you make it a priority? What problem are we solving? Do they know support's expired or is it due to renew shortly? Has the customer confirmed they're still using the equipment that you're calling about? Are you working on something other than just a generic renewal with them? i.e. a service level they didn't know about that can help them be more efficient? A longer term of agreement with all their hardware involved, so a larger contract? This is something that's going to require change, so if you can define the need of this change and see what impact you can have by doing so. Decision maker. Who is the decision maker and are you sure? You need to ask yourself that another time. Who is it? Are you sure? Because other people can be involved in the decision making process. Sometimes a prospect may think that they've got the power to sign off on it. You may think that too, but there's too many horror stories that go with this because people were too eager to believe that the IT guy had the final say. Yet all he does is define that need with you, pass it off to his procurement department, a highly skilled team of people looking to get the best deal they can. Your relationship with the person in charge of IT is only going to get you so far. You've opened up a whole new thread with a whole new bunch of people that don't know you from Adam, and this is where it's going to break down if you aren't clear from the beginning. Always make sure that you ask the IT person if this needs to go further up the chain to be decided as to whether or not they want to proceed, especially with your company, because that's where it's going to trip you up at the end if they hand this off to their other departments to sign off and all of a sudden they want to use a different supplier because they've got an existing relationship and they don't know who you are. Decision criteria is next. What needs to be proved for the project to move forwards? Double check and keep confirming throughout the cycle. Getting as much information on this topic at the inception of the project is vital to it proceeding in your favour. At this point you've defined the need, they want it. You're talking to the decision maker, they're interested. You even know how much money they got to spend and they're confirmed on the phone they want to spend it with you. So keep checking with them until the deal is done. Keep on top of them. Make sure you remain a priority. The compelling event. Find the compelling event. What's driving the sale? The compelling event can be a number of things, so make sure you understand which one it is before you enter a call. Have they expired support or are they due to expire soon? Is it month end and the manufacturer has confirmed the prices are due to rise on a number of products? Is the renewal falling around a public holiday, meaning you need to wrap things up in advance? At the moment it's Easter weekend, so therefore a lot of people are going to be out of the office for a longer weekend. If their support's expiring around that time, make sure that they're aware and they can get the confirmations over to you in advance. Timescales. Has a timescale been considered and what can stand in its way? What happens next? What control do you have? Are you checking progress regularly? Can you leave any actions with the client? So once again, you can revert back to things like a public holiday. That's going to wrap up a timescale pretty quickly because you know you need to get this taken care of before the long weekend when everyone's out the office. You could ask typically how long their procurement process takes if they use a procurement system. Is it going to take weeks to form a PO, or is it going to be a quick in and out in a day? Turnaround times are also a vital thing to be aware of when you're talking timescales. It's not just timescales from the end user, you need to give them timescales as well if you need to request a contract. You need to make them aware of what your turnaround time is with your supplier. So in America it can be 3 to 5 working days, in EMEA it's a little different. And lastly, the competition. Not just to the suppliers though. It could be cost of change or lack of defined need. We're not just competing against other resellers for our product. We have to consider other options too, like third-party maintainers bidding for their business that can undercut us. How much do they value their original equipment manufacturer's support? They may feel as though they can manage downtime effectively without support in place. And I've recently employed a technician who was HPE, Dell, Lenovo trained, but are they aware that without the support they're not able to access firmware, and firmware can account for 80% of downtime issues. Current Climate is also a current competitor of ours. People are putting budget freezes in place and stopping spending, so we need to make sure that we're aware if they're not going to get towards the end of the process and then turn around and say actually we can't buy anything right now because we're not allowed to spend any money. Just to be aware of that. So with all that in mind, you should be ready to go out there and approach your customers with what's been discussed to qualify your leads to the best of your abilities. Just got one final part to run through with you, and that's message mapping. That's giving a 15-second elevator pitch. And what a 15-second elevator pitch and a message map is just a snapshot into what we do. Sometimes a customer isn't eager to be on the phone with you, but you can keep them on there for at least 15 seconds and give them an overview of what our business does and how it can help them. Which would go a little something like this. We are Support Warehouse. We're a Hewlett Packard Enterprise Support Services LE reseller. We operate out of 12 countries. We remind you to renew support as far as 90 days in advance. We register the support free of charge, alleviating administration from the end user. And that right there is a 15-second pitch. Thank you for taking the time to watch this video. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me directly.